University education is supposed to train one on problem-solving skills and expand one's intelligence. In Kenya, we have 22 public, 17 private universities, and 12 universities with letters of interim authority. The society consequently bestows its hopes and dreams in these students. However, in the recent past, we've had complaints from the industry that a number of the graduates being hired currently are half-baked. We sought after scholars to find out what could be the problem.
I think the issue is either attitudinal or personal problem of an employee. And probably that employee is not inducted properly, is not told exactly what to do.
Only 20% of the lecturers in Kenya University have actually been trained in pedagogy. That's the art of teaching, how to deliver.
I must say that is a very big challenge from my own experience. We have very many universities, and unfortunately not many of our graduates continue with the postgraduate studies, which means that we have very few people with PhDs that will probably end up teaching at the university.
With the increase in the number of our institutions of higher learning, the number of students has increased too. Every year, over 50,000 students enroll in universities in Kenya. This number keeps rising as more people enroll in the chartered universities, and there are many satellite campuses across the country.
This has put a strain on the infrastructure. For example, the number of lecture theatres has not increased in proportional terms with the increased number of students. This has also affected the lecturer-student ratio, which has worsened the contact hours or the contact moments with students, and therefore the total outcome is presumably affected by the same.
And this has made even specialized universities that were producing wonderful engineers, for instance, Jomo Kenyatta, JKUAT, they also now have become MB and all kinds of things, and with campuses dotted all over Kenya, in reckless pursuit for money, to have an income to run the university, you see. There are classes through a report that was done at KCA University that some universities have 2,000 and over students for one lecturer, you can imagine, and students follow lectures through public address system.
This affects the students as they depend on these lecturers to pass knowledge to them. Most students are scared of speaking about it, but we found this guy who shares his experience. To avoid victimization, Alex, not his real name, a former student from the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, asked us not to reveal his face.
The experience was horrible. I actually felt shortchanged at the end of it because I felt like I had not received value for the money that I had actually paid. So that by the time I was graduating, I felt like I had gone through the system as it is, but I had not quite learned. You'll find that students are going to always be raising concerns. We used to do it all the time. We used to raise concerns. But the problem is we don't have a proper system that allows for us to maybe be able to forward our grievances to the, correct people. Okay, because at that level, you'll be told to probably go see the dean of students, go talk to maybe the dean of students, go talk to the principal or whatever, and then it ends there, The dean of students is going to give you audience, yes. He's going to hear out your grievances and nothing's going to be done.
Moreover, university research, which is supposed to train students have better problem-solving skills, is losing its meaning. A spot check on some university notice boards and also along some streets indicates that university research has become a commercial venture.
It is very sad. I have noticed in some institutions, even some shops where probably books are sold and so on and so forth, you see notices that do you need any data analysis assistance, we guide on writing thesis and so on. Some people have made education a business, and some students want shortcuts, so they seek for assistance they pay some people to write for them a thesis, or they pay some money to a person who is qualified in the area of data analysis to do the analysis for them, to do the interpretation for them. You know, in other words, we have some students who want a shortcut to getting a paper, to getting a degree.
Even with the expansion of universities in Kenya, the output for the academia in the higher level, that is masters and PhDs, is still worrying. This is because lecturers are expected to hold PhDs in order to lecture, but the numbers of graduates at this level poses a concern.
If you look at Vision 2030, our intention is to grow PhDs at the rate of 1,000 per year in the next 5 years. And you are the people to make it this possible. Our university has a student enrollment of thousands of students, maybe 6,000. But the number of PhD students is so small, 8,500, really. Every university must have 25% of its student population as postgraduates. Then we shall be talking. And you are the people to sell these ideas.
Due to the increase in the number of institutions in the country, several lecturers are engaged on part-time basis. This is because there are not enough of them to serve all these institutions.
The universities have put in place measures to engage lecturers on part-time basis. And that has gone a long way, not just in terms of exchanging best practices, but also in mitigating the impact of those numbers on the individual lecturers and individual students.
Nonetheless, this has also caused a challenge as lecturers devote themselves to so many classes in their quest to cash in more money.
Presentation and group work is very common in university nowadays, not for the good reasons of team building. And no, it is the easiest way for a lecturer to survive. Because you give handouts, then the students have to do their own work. It makes it easy for you. And because 4 people, 6 people are doing one work, what you'll be marking is one script instead of marking 6. And then this one has also contributed another problem of being absent in class. And with our lazy students who are half-baked from secondary school, when the lecture doesn't turn up, they're actually happy because with them, there's their time to socialize.
Currently, most of the universities have campuses in almost all the counties. Unfortunately, most of these campuses are lacking in facilities and human resource.
We are creating universities all over the country because of politics. Every county, every tribe, every clan wants a university without caring whether they have the capacity to provide higher education. We have universities that are developing into commercial centers, putting supermarkets, or not in the university, but none of them is talking about the human resource training of the lecturers. I hardly see that debate.
In the recent past, students have enrolled in chartered universities for particular courses, only to later realize their degrees are not recognized by the relevant professional bodies.
You can imagine how we are also disadvantaging the students who do not know.
The Commission for University Education is tasked with ensuring that universities only offer approved courses.
So the person doing that degree must take the responsibility to find out if it's recognized. It's on our website, and every 3 months we advertise in 3 newspapers and we put it on our website what programs are approved.
Sadly, the Commission for University Education says they are not to blame for having universities offering unapproved courses, yet it's their mandate. We also had students from some universities taking to the streets due to lecturer absenteeism. According to a research done by the Inter-University Council for East Africa, at least half of the graduates produced by East African universities are half-baked for the job market. The study, which polled employers across the region, concluded that graduates lacked employability skills, technical mastery, and basic work-related capabilities. The Federation of Kenya Employers, FKE, is also on record having the same complaint for Kenyan graduates, yet scholars oppose this.
Many university graduates are now called upon to do jobs that they were not trained for. Someone is trained as a teacher, that is, they graduate with a Bachelor of Education degree or a Bachelor of Science degree, and then they get a job in the banking sector, either as tellers or as something. Now, such a person, of course, will be measured in terms of performance on the basis of the banking practices about which this person knows very little. In that situation, then it becomes difficult for us to say that the graduate is half-baked. They are fully baked in the areas in which they are trained, but because of the labor dynamics, they are sometimes called upon to do things that are not necessarily in their line of training.
Fortunately for me, the Federation of Kenyan Employers are our graduates. I hope they are not half-baked, because we don't have any half-baked graduates. Whoever says that is demeaning our training. If they have a case, one case, let them bring so that they can prove their case. At the moment, I have not seen a single case presented for half-bakedness.
It's not just the lecturers and the Commission for University Education that differ with FKE. The Cabinet Secretary of Education, Science and Technology strongly opposes the research, instead citing challenges.
How can you accept people to give you a tag of being half-baked? Let me say this. There is no country in the world who doesn't have challenges. And the fact that you have challenges in no way means you have baked. If there are challenges, if there are certain inadequacies in terms of competencies and skills, let us work together. Kenya private sector, our employers, let's work together. Let us know what is missing and we shall provide it.
A few years back, internships were a must for all students as they were meant to prepare students for the job market. However, nowadays students undertake internships as a formality in order to graduate.
It does not add value to the studies and the course that you're pursuing. So most people don't take them seriously, and I think it's high time even the institutions themselves, they have to ensure that when a student is going for internship, that the place where one is attached has to be in line. Whatever they're doing has to be in line with the course they're pursuing.
We are going soon to make attachments or practicums compulsory for every university. But the private sector must be prepared to pay for it. This business of ndomu, it will not help anybody. They must be prepared to pay. When I say pay, if you go to Germany, for example, or you go to France, you'll find that industry will pay the person who is teaching them at industrial attachment level. You find that students are given some stipend. Then you find the dons themselves who accompany them are given something. And not only futuristically, they are made their potential employees. Finally, if you listen very carefully, the other day the Parliament approved a national qualifications framework. Why? Because we believe in competency-based education. So that at every exit, you have certain competencies and skills.
This back and forth by different stakeholders leaves the students with no solution to the challenges they are facing. So what is the way forward?
We must restructure the education system in Kenya. First, to restructure, to make sure that we sort out the systemic problems that we are aware of, including the facilities and the human resource.
I think universities should be able to establish, provide services that are current, that are market-oriented, that will make their graduate be employed or be employable as soon as the graduate leaves the university.